Hi guys, I'm going to be scrapbooking these three pictures of my older daughter at the SPCA, and I actually used the font as a starting off point on this layout, so I'm writing down the title there, which is Kitty Love at the SPCA. And I've decided to do Kitty out of those stepping stone stamps, and then Love will be the Muse font, and at the SPCA will be in the Tim and Beck orange letter stickers there. Um, and so that was my jumping off point for this layout. And this is actually an idea that I thought up in the middle of the night. I woke up in the middle of the night and thought, I need to do this layout with these stepping stone stamps. So obviously, scrapbooking is creeping into my dreams. So I wanted a pretty neutral, plainish background for this layout, and so I went into my own stash looking. I'm just looking through my Studio Calico papers there. There's a couple in there that aren't Studio Calico. They were just in the wrong category, and so I picked out that notebook paper is from the Take Note collection. And I was looking for something, some type of notebook or graph paper or something as my background because I'm going to do a lot of stamping and I want the stamping to be in a light color and I want it to show up. So right now I am getting some paper to protect my work surface. That's just Stampin' Up! Grid paper. And I got a little pad of paper that I'm going to use just for figuring out the placement. And it's going to take me a while to place these letters. Just because I wanted to get them perfect. So I'm spelling out the word kitty there, only I'm using one of they're all outline letters except one of the T's is the solid letter, and I'm just using that solid T for placement. It's not going to be part of my actual word. And so I realized that that letter is the wrong thickness, so I couldn't do that. So then I started just using K-I-T with a space for the T and then Y. And then I'm just kind of experimenting with different placements of that Y to figure out how much of a space I needed for that T. And so there I think I'm close to getting it now. So I'm just kind of experimenting and playing around with it. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of time to get this, but I was going to do quite a lot of stamping on this layout, so I wanted to make sure I had it right. So now I'm just putting lines of the word kitty all over this, and of course there's that space for the letter for the second T, so I'm going to have to go back and fill that in. So I'm just making it as random looking as possible, but all lined up. So I was kind of doing random lines of the word kitty is what I wanted. And now I'm just going to go back and add that T. And then what I'm going to do is for one of the words, I'm going to put the solid stepping stone, and that will become my title. So that all of these extra kitty words are just kind of part of the background. So I'm just putting my stamps away and taking out the solid K-I-T-Y. And these I'm going to stamp separately so I don't need them lined up or anything. And then I'm just stamping another T. The first T had the line in it was wobbly because I didn't place it properly on my block. So that's why I did it again. So now I'm cutting these out. And I was going to cut all around the spaces, like the little V in the Y, but then I decided to just kind of leave them. So I just zoomed in here a little bit so that you could see how I'm cutting. I keep my hand with the scissors still, and I actually tuck my elbow into my body to hold my arm as still as possible, and then I just move the paper around. So there you go. And this doesn't take as long as I always think it will take. I always am hesitant to do these kinds of things like cutting out stamps because I always think that it takes a long time, but it really doesn't. That only took me a few minutes there. So there is the words kitty for my title. And now I'm picking out the letters for the word love from that Muse font that came in the Studio Calico SoCal kit. Most of the, well, some of the items from this layout are from the SoCal kit from Studio Calico. And now I'm just putting my thickers into a new package. I got some of those 6x12 bags after watching Craft and Kate's video. She got the idea from somebody else who got the idea from someone else. And so that's what I keep my stickers in now. And what I was doing there was I was just taking those Stampin' Up! Dimensional adhesive, and I was putting little slits in the edge ones because if you slit them, then you've got little halves, and all along the edges you get little halves. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it just it helps for putting dimensional adhesive on really thin things. They're actually not even halves, they're just little bits. So it is a bit of a fussy job just because those letters are so tiny, and so I do need to cut up my dimensional adhesive, but I really wanted them to be popped up, not just over top of the outlined letters. So I'm just placing them down there now. And of course, you know, it's kind of ironic the whole time that I'm doing this Kitty Love layout, my own cat, which is about a cat at the SPCA, my own cat was annoying the heck out of me. There was cat hair all over everything. She's shedding right now because it's so hot. And there was cat hair in my ink, and then she was almost stepping in my ink, and it wouldn't be the first time that she walked in ink or paint and then got like stuff all over the place. So, yeah, she just kind of wouldn't leave me alone. I was like, I was thinking, I'm going to make this a dog layout if you don't leave me alone, Maya. As if she'd understand that. So anyways, I just took some papers from the SoCal kit. I will tell you what those are. That grid-like one, or it's kind of a plaid, is, who makes that? That is Studio Calico from the alphabet paper. It's the back side of the alphabet paper. And then that green layer is by Crate Paper from the Pretty Party collection. I'm just going to outline it, and I'm ignoring the scallops when I outline it. Sometimes I'll outline the scallops, and on this time I'm not. So I'm outlining it with my American Crafts Precision pen in the 0.03 width, and then I'm just kind of layering them so that it's not completely even, but I did want to see all of the layers. And that is wax paper that I used to place the word love. And then I just covered up my title, and I'm splattering some Mr. Huey's in white, estate green, heirloom blue, and overdue. And I'm just doing it randomly. I'm not doing any kind of pattern or not using it as a way to draw your eye in any particular place. I just wanted it random. Kind of like the words kitty are random all over the page. So now I figured that I wanted to put the at the SPCA, kind of the subtitle part of my layout, on that MFT tab, which that's a dynamic by MFT, so I'm going to cut out a tab shape with that. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out if I'm going to do any other layers. I end up making this a pretty simple layout, mostly because the main part of the layout is kind of the background that I made, and I didn't really want to cover it up and draw away, like I didn't want it to get too busy. So that's another pattern paper from the SoCal kit. I don't think I wrote that one down. I think it's Crate Paper. I could be wrong. So I outlined it, and now I'm taking these little orange letters by Tim and Beck that came in the kit. I think they're an exclusive to the kit. And I actually really love these letters. They are a little cut off so that it looks like it's all kind of scrunched together, but I like them anyways. I did a couple freeze frames in this video, so you might think that your video is freezing up, but it's not. It's just something I was trying to see if it works. It looks a little weird, so I'm not sure if I'll do it again. So I'm just stapling that tab in place, and now I'm putting some dimensional adhesive on that's a little die cut shape that came in the kit. And I forgot to cut this part out. I'm just writing down my supplies here on my little sheet. And now I'm going to finally put everything down and placing that word love. I really love those thickers. They're white chipboard thickers, and they've got like a triangular or circular graph type of pattern on them. They're really, really pretty. And then those are from my Mind's Eye. They're, I think they're called fancy buttons or something. And I just took the chipboard pieces out of there, the little chipboard flags, and I'm going to put them up in the corner. And now I'm thinking about other embellishments, and it's really kind of busy with the kitty in the background and then the paint splatter, and I'm kind of trying to decide. And what I figured I would do is add some chevrons. And I figured that I could make chevrons by, you've seen me use my square punch, that's a Marvy square punch. You've seen me to make the little fishtails on banners. And what I figured I could do, because there have been times that I've adjusted a banner, like I've cut it and then I had to cut it shorter, and I noticed that when you do that, it creates these cute little chevron shapes. So what I did was I just made a line down the middle so that I could line it up, and then I'm just lining it up with my pardon me. You'll notice that my punch has markings on it to show the centers of each of those lines. So once I have a center line on the paper that I'm cutting, I just make sure that's lined up with my corner of my punch, and then I try to make sure that both sides are even, if that makes any sense. And each piece is not exactly the same, and I kind of like that. It's kind of has a handmade look to it. And so here I'm trying to decide if I'm going to make this chevron arrow go all the way to the kitty, or if I'm just going to make it kind of go on the side of that embellishment. And I end up not wanting to cover up that other outlined stamp of the word kitty, so I went with putting it there. I'm using my Zig glue pen to adhere these to the paper, just because it dries really quick and it's easy and not very blobby, like the mono multi is pretty blobby. So now I am just marking where I need to punch the holes to sew those embellishments on, those flags. I'm poking the holes, and then that is some lawn trimmings from Lawn Fawn. It's kind of like a really heavy yellow twine, and I thought it was really cute, so I wanted to use it on the layout. It's from a kit, maybe the kit before last or something. It's from a Studio Calico kit anyways. And so I'm just lining the, oh yes, and I forgot, I wanted to put the date stamp on two of those, so I put the month and the date on one of them, and then on another one, in a few minutes, you'll see me do the year. Just because neither of them were long enough to have both the year and the date. So on the two plainer ones, I did some date stamping. And those do have adhesive backing on them, so that means that they stay put. And now I'm just trimming off the little bits of the chevron. And yes, now I'm going to outline those little chevrons, because, you know, I have to outline something. And I think that's it. That is all. So very minimal embellishment on this layout. And here's the close-up for you. So there you'll see those flags with the date on them, and there's all my outlined stepping stone kitty words, and you'll see the lettering, and there you get to really see those thickers. Aren't they cool? I love them with all the triangles on them. It's like a triangle grid. And then that's that cute My Mind's Eye embellishment, die cut, and there's the tab that I made with those cute little Tim and Beck letters, and that's it. So thanks for watching, guys.